What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys, on the channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Bournemouth away from home, guys. Let's get straight into today's video, guys. So we made one change from the last game against Everton. Talk about the starting 11. So we started with De Gea, Young, Smalling, Lindelof, Shaw, Fred, Matic, Pogba, Mata, Sanchez and Martial. So again, that one change is Romelu Lukaku being dropped completely out of the team. What's behind the story of why he's completely dropped? Obviously, the last game against Everton, he was dropped because of his lack of performances. His form hasn't been that great for Manchester United. Coming into this one, Jose Mourinho reported and said he injured himself on Friday's training session. Apparently now he's injured. He is injured. I don't think he's injured. He might be injured, but to be rested, obviously, because obviously, you know, his run of form's not been that great recently in the last couple of games. Does need a rest at the end of the day. So, yeah, overall reaction. Now, I'm actually going to be talking about what I was thinking before the game and during the game. Before the game, United were going to play this two options. We're either going to beat them 3-0 or 2-0. Or it was going to be one of these where it's going to be the same exact where Bournemouth come into this game, they play with the heart, they play for pride, passion, and they play for the badge. They put something on for the crowd, they'll score and they'll get a goal past Manchester United, which happened. And then obviously they would have been knackered in that first half, and then United come out in the second half, throw everything at it, and we go and win the game 2-1. So, at the end of the day, Manchester United walked away in this game and we walked away with the 3 points. A victory, a win, the 3 points. To be fair, I'm going to admit that we were very lucky in this game. I must admit we were very lucky in certain areas with the likes of Chris Smalling. His defence was absolutely sloppy and it was poor. You know, there were certain areas in that game that we were shit at, like the defence. And when Bournemouth scored, it was a bit sloppy again, because it was the defence, because Lindelof just played on Callum Wilson. So it's obviously that defence to blame against Bournemouth when we let in that first goal. But I knew exactly that was going to happen in this game. I just knew it, because Bournemouth, they like to have a good old fight against Manchester United, and they like to put on something good for the fans, for their fans. Overall, as a game now, let's talk about the actual game. First half, it wasn't the best of first halves, Manchester United. We were slow, we were making too many mistakes in defence, we were letting Bournemouth in the game massively. Bournemouth should have made it at least 3-4-1 in the first half. That massively could have gone to them in the first half. They absolutely did us in that first half. They were dominant in that first half. Manchester United, we came out in that second half and we could have absolutely done them. If we probably took our chances in the second half and scored our chances and put our opportunities away, we would have walked away in this game and we could have either absolutely smashed them or we could have drawn the game. But this was a game that was a both-sided game. Bournemouth were having it in the first half, they were knackered in the second half, and United came out in the second half. We had too many chances in that second half that we just couldn't put away. It was great goalkeeping by their goalkeeper. At the end of the day, there's going to be Bournemouth fans probably watching this and probably going to think, I'm going to at least say you guys played well, did everything that you could to beat Manchester United. Unfortunately, the better team won. And whoever wins the game deserves it, really, at the end of the day. So, at the end of the day, you could have outclassed us at one stage of the game. It comes down to a last-minute winner, where it's back in the old days with Fergie. At the end of the day, I'm buzzing that we've come away with the 3 points, a win, a victory. And that's what everyone cares about, that we've come into this game and we've won the game and we've got points on the board. And that shows now the ability that we've got that run now. Like I said in my previous video when we played Everton, that we've got that opportunity now and to create a run. And let's do it. You know, the next game is City, but at the end of the day, you know, Man City haven't even had a proper test yet. So I'm looking forward to Man City. And this will be City's first big test. Obviously, their first big test was Tottenham. I'll definitely elaborate on that later in the stages of this video. But yes, guys, let's get into today's video, guys. So, United started the game slow, typical Manchester United. We came into this game, we started slow because we were just giving away too many mistakes. Defensive mistakes. We were giving away possession and we were being dispossessed. In the first 10 minutes, we were awful. We we weren't good enough. All the commentators were saying, this is not the Manchester United we've seen. And it wasn't, because the defence was sloppy, especially Mike Smalling. Well, he wasn't giving away possession. He got megged. He got done by the likes of Brooks, Wilson. So he got absolutely outclassed, Mike Smalling. He got outdone by a few of the Bournemouth players. But again, it's that defence again. It's that defence again, because it's the same old tactic. Mourinho's tactic, by going defensive in the first half, and then when we get a chance on the break, use it and try and create chances. Again, it's the same old stuff. Bournemouth were playing with width and pace. You know, they had very good players in there. They've got the likes of Callum Wilson. They had that Stanislas, who was very good, quick as well. We were playing a very good Bournemouth side, a very organised Bournemouth side. Bournemouth that have been playing well with the likes of Eddie Howe, with Eddie Howe's system, you know, like I was saying in my last video, where, you know, the players have been adapting to his system this year, got a new game plan and coming into different games and approaching these games. Bournemouth are playing very well recently. We're playing a very good Bournemouth side at the end of the day. But again, teams like Manchester United should be putting teams like Bournemouth to bed, really. And we did that at the end of the day. We've got to be happy and walk away. We've got the 3 points. That's all we care about, really. Bournemouth had United on the front foot. As typical, you know, United were sitting and defending. Bournemouth were creating early chances. Bournemouth should have scored inside the first 5 minutes, you know. We got off so lucky in this game. The amount of luck we got in this game came our way. You know, we were so lucky in this game. And at the end of the day, every team has to walk away with a bit of luck in the game as well. So we were the better team. We got luck on our side and we just got very lucky in the game. Bournemouth were just replicating everything. Once everything just paid off, Bournemouth score. Now, their goal, again, it was sloppy to give away. In those certain positions where we've got back into position, they've crossed it in on a set piece and a great finish by Callum Wilson. In those certain areas, the defence has got to be solid and physically, mentally prepared. In this game, were we physically and mentally prepared? I think we were. But again, it's just down to that defence. We all know where the problems are coming. It's the defence. So we've got to sort it out. When the January transfer window comes up, we need to get a defender. We've said it, and we need to sort out the defence, because we've been struggling this season and we've been conceding too many goals recently. And now we're starting to see De Gea back on it, walking away with better results, better performances, and this is what we need. We're walking away with good results. We've beaten Everton, we've beaten Bournemouth. We can go and beat City. We can do it. I know we can. I just knew it coming into this game that it was going to be the same that happens, where it's Mourinho's tactic by playing defensive football, and when you break on the counter-attack and create chances, again, you know, it's the same stuff, really. Bournemouth came out in this first half, they did everything. They were 1-0 up. We brought it back 1-1 in that first half, and then we took control. We were dominant in that second half, and we gave it everything in that second half, and we won. It's the same that happens week in and week out, really, against teams like Bournemouth. United barely created any chances in that first half, I must admit. The quality wasn't there. The desire in the team just wasn't there. Matic was just making way too many mistakes in the game. The last recent weeks, Matic hasn't been up there. He's been outstanding for me recently, has been Herrera. He's been on the bench, and the reason why I'm starting him on the bench is because, you know, he had an injury and he's benched him for the last couple of weeks. But I think someone like Herrera, who's been playing well now and who's playing better than Matic, you should start him. The link-up play with Mata and Sanchez was poor in that first half, I must admit. You know, something, again, it looked like that was a tactic with Mata linking up to Sanchez. Sanchez, there was runs where he got to the ball, but there was times where our distributions were good, but some of them were just going too deep, they were going too long. We just couldn't find that right one. As the game was progressing, we could find the right distributions and where a player could actually control the ball, take time and stuff like that. So, you know, we showed everything in this game. Our crosses were crap as usual. The crosses couldn't get past the first man. Again, same shit again. Then United started playing better as the game was progressing. United had upped the tempo, we upped the intensity, playing with dynamic football, we were making the right decisions. I think this was a game that also came down to decision making again. The right pass, right move, It's in every single game that we come up against, it's all about the decision making and whoever makes the last mistakes as well. The passing is good, the movement is good. Then finally, United found a breakthrough. First goal, Sanchez won the ball back well. Sanchez passed it to Young. Young passed it back to Sanchez. Sanchez crossed it to Martial, and Martial puts it in for 1-1. At that moment, I thought about time, game on. It was a good time to bounce back and to get a goal just before half time, and that's what we needed. We needed to get into that half time with a good old bollocking from Mourinho. United again had created an opportunity, just couldn't put it away. Overall, it was a poor first half, but just about got through the half. Second half, we needed to be aggressive with the ball. We needed to be sharper. We needed to play with a high intensity, a high tempo. United need to create chances at goal, create opportunities at goal. We need to test the goalkeeper. And this is a half where we just couldn't make too many mistakes. Bournemouth came out quick. Bournemouth created a very good chance in the second half. Luckily enough, it just hit the side netting, but I think it was also a very good save by De Gea. De Gea had to coop us into this game very well. He made some great saves. He's been making some great saves in the last recent weeks. So I must take my hat off to De Gea. He's been playing well recently. Keep it up, keep it going, keep it together, keep it clean. We're walking away with good results recently and good performances. And then we were all around Bournemouth. This is where United just took over the game. We had more possession, we were in control of the game, we were dominant, we were creating chances at goal, chances that we should have scored. It was frustrating, I'll get into that in a minute. Mourinho then did substitutions. Finally, he made some substitutions. Mata went off for Rashford. Talk about Mata's performance. Caught out for Wilson's goal by ball watching. Far too pedestrian with the ball in attack as Bournemouth overwhelmed United at the opposite end. Fred went off for Herrera. If you're wondering where I actually find all this information, I actually find it on the Manchester United MEN. And I'm not even going to talk about Fred's performance because me and my dad had turned around to each other and we said that Fred's been the best one out of everyone in that first half until we scored the goal. And they rated Fred as a 1 out of 10. And now I don't rate Fred 1 out of 10. And they were saying like Guardiola being serious of signing Fred for 52 million, this, that, the other. It was his poorest game. Now, they've completely watched a different game. Whoever was writing the ratings must have been drunk or must have been on drugs because whatever they've watched, they've not seen Fred play. They've seen some other game Fred has played. Fred played well in that first half. Me and my dad, like I just said, we turned around in that first half and we were saying Fred's playing well. The person that I would give a low rating was Matic. I would give him as a 1 out of 10. He was being dispossessed. He was losing possession. He's been the one who's not been playing well in the last recent weeks. He's the one that's been making too many mistakes, not Fred. So you can't just turn to Fred saying that was poorest performance. Why not you go and blame it on Matic? Because Matic hasn't been playing well in the last couple of weeks. Once Rashford and Herrera came on, they were a threat. Like I just said then, I think once Rashford and Herrera came on, they changed the game. They changed the game completely. I think, it wasn't the right starting 11. I think he should have started Rashford in the first place without Sanchez starting. Like I said then, both Rashford and Herrera changed the game completely. Everyone said it on Full Time Devils. Herrera had a few chances at goal. Rashford had a great chance at goal as well. I've already talked about if Mourinho should start Herrera more, and he should really. It'd be good to see Pogba and Herrera and Fred play together more and drop Matic because he's just making too many mistakes recently in recent games. I don't know whether if he needs a break. Sloppy mistakes from Matic. He needs to be told off. United kept going. We kept pushing. United had the energy in the second half. We had Bournemouth on the back foot. We had them on the front foot. United made the last and final change. Sanchez went off for Lingard. Talk about Sanchez's performance. Salvaged a woeful first half by creating Martial's equaliser. Was a downgrade on Marcus Rashford. And Mourinho may recall Romelu Lukaku once he regains fitness. Like I said about Lukaku, injured, so we'll have to see on that. But he's going to be making his decision today, whether if he can play for the game against Juventus. United were creating more chances. Young hit the post on a free kick. Lingard had a great chance to score. These are all the chances that we had that we should have put in the back of the net and the opportunities that we had. United kept going. United never gave up. Bournemouth were just settling for the draw and they were just bringing on reinforcements. and they were just settling for the draw. United weren't settling for that draw. I knew that we were going to win the game. We were giving it everything. United kept going, and finally, and the last minute winner came. Second goal, Martial passed it to Pogba. Pogba tricked the right back, crossed it to Rashford, and Rashford finishes it off for 2-1. I was over the absolute moon, and I was absolutely buzzing. It was just like the old days where we get a last minute winner under Fergie time. Well, it wasn't really under Fergie time, but we did it at the end of the day. And that was it. We just wanted to hear the final whistle. We heard it. Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 2. Feels great, you know. 3 points done, win done, victory done. Next up, City. Very good game to come against City, and sitting at the top of the table with a good win against Southampton last night, where they've absolutely battered them 6-1. I think this is going to be the biggest, toughest game that we're going to have. I think if we played the way how we played against Chelsea, work on a few tactical things, hopefully it'll come our way. City, you know, they've been playing well recently in recent games. You know, they've not been tested in the last couple of weeks. The test against Tottenham, but just wasn't enough for them. City walked away with a good 3 points, but I've watched how City play. What they do is from minute 1 to minute 90, they play with a high tempo, a high intensity. They play for pride, passion, and for the badge, and they do it for the shirt as well. They play with a lot of width, a lot of pace. They're up there, they're fighting from minute 1 to minute 90. They don't give up. They never give up, City, and that's why they've been walking away with some good results and good wins. This is going to be our toughest game yet. But like I just said then, City have not been tested, and hope this is their first game that they're going to be tested. They'll probably come into this game thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be, oh yeah, we'll walk the park in this one against United. No, they're not going to do that, because I'll tell you what, Manchester's currently red. It's the Manchester derby. We've won the current Manchester derby. They're not going to be walking the park in front of Manchester United. Manchester United are going to put on the best performance ever that I'm going to see. What we need to do is we just need to get our tactics right, our game plan right. We've got to be physically and mentally prepared. We've got to play for pride, passion, and for the badge. We've got to give it everything. We've got to fight from minute 1 to minute 90. If we put in a good old shift in, we'll beat City. Obviously, they've got the likes of Mahrez, Aguero, Sané, Sterling, and Jesus. This isn't going to be easy. It's going to be one of the toughest tests recently. And if we get everything right, and if we come away with a good result against City, I'll take that any day of the week. And let's elaborate on our run. Let's keep going. Play how we play. We'll get the victory. We've beat Everton. We've beat Bournemouth. Go and beat City. I'm not scared of them. Got to prove these idiot Manchester United haven't played well. They've not got the results that they've been wanting. Let's walk away from City. We'll get the 3 points. We'll get the victory. We'll get the win. So I'm not scared of them. We've got something to prove. I'm not scared about City. We can go and beat City. Considering that, you know, they're at the top of the table. They're one of the best. They're defending champions. So what? They pulled off a great season last year with only 2 losses. Coming into this one, I'm expecting a very good game. So from both ends, it's going to be both-sided. It's going to be all down to the decision making and who makes the less mistakes at the end of the day. Hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.